Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? So, this is still Wednesday. I did a podcast this morning. I think pretty early, I'm not sure. And I got busy. I got all kinds of things going on. Yay! And I don't know. I kind of ran into some angry feelings that I have. And I want to share them. I want to share them with everybody. Maybe that'll get somebody to respond back to me. I don't know. But, so I just put everything back in the house. I had to run some errands and get some groceries and do domestic things. And so now I'm back in my truck. It's 81 degrees. I'm headed southwest. And pretty much clear skies. Kind of haze and clouds out in the west, but what's new? Half the time they never materialize into anything, so I don't care. It's hot. Even at 81, it's hot. And this afternoon, what I want to do is I want to do a kind of a short podcast, because I understand it's kind of a podcast I'm doing out of anger. So I don't want to upset anybody's apple cart too much. I'm going to go out here east of town to my house, check on this house that's getting built. But, so here's the deal. I get a lot of information from people. And I read a lot of stuff from people on the internet. You know, working the program, doing the meditations, making changes to their personality, becoming a different you, designing a future you. I mean, you know, they're going through all the steps. They got the gratitude, you know, all this stuff. Well, guess what? Me too. I mean, I'm actually working on stuff too, you guys, and you all knew that. My stuff seems to be around blood pressure. Boy, what a stupid thing to have. My family had blood pressure issues, right? I could care less about blood pressure. I don't care what the numbers are. I don't care what the effects are. I'm fine. I'm not planning on, nor do I believe in, nor do I accept, believe, and surrender to the fact that, you know, my family had it, so I'm going to have it. Well, I don't want to say that word. Screw it. You know, I'm not on board. I'm not part of that train. I'm not part of that ship. I'm not going out of port. You know? I work and work and work. And I got two things. Two things that, well, who knows? Two things that are issues for me. Blood pressure. And a lot of the time, it's down. Without medication, with reduced medication, with me just working my program, it's down. And I get all excited and it stays down. You know, I probably have defied the cardiologists that have been working with me for such a long I'm sure they believe I should be dead by now. I don't do what they tell me to do. I mean, they just keep wanting to pump you full of pharmaceuticals and then have like all these huge, horrendous side effects. I'm not on board. I'm not part of that. And they get so mad, they just throw their hands up in the air and they just walk away. You know, they won't say, well, I'm not going to treat you anymore. But that's what they're doing. They just ignore me after that, you know. If I contact them back or say I need an appointment or, you know, can we change the medicine to this, that, or the other thing, you know, then they'll usually talk to me or something. The other thing that, you know, you guys that follow me, and I know there are people out there that follow me, and that's fine. Good. Glad somebody follows me. You know, the second thing I'm talking about, I have a tall ice water with lots of ice in a plastic cup from Starbucks. Wow, is it good. So, the second thing, and you know, there's a lot of people that kind of know who I am and what I do and my background and stuff, right? And lack is pretty prevalent in my life. Lack has been prevalent since I've been a little peep. I came from a hard-working, lower middle-class family, right? Great parents. You know, did they have their dysfunctions? Of course. Did they teach me all the things a rich dad would teach me? No, because they didn't know them. It doesn't make them bad people. It just means that I never had the capabilities to know how to produce income. But anyway, I'm not going to go on talking about my family. Hey, here's a horse on the road. Well, I don't want to hit a horse on the road. That guy's just out grazing. So our family had lack. I mean, I got privileged schooling, you know, education and things that other people in our economic status did not get. I got a new car, you know, when I turned age. And, I mean, there was all kinds of really cool things. And in turn, I felt good about myself. And I excelled in sports, you know, like All-State and this and that and the other thing. And opportunity to play college sports. You know, I spent my whole career in clinical psychology. That's a long time. I spent my whole career doing that. And for the most part, highly successful. You know, I mean, did I make mistakes along the way? Sure. Am I a bad person for that? No. But, so those are the two things I've always worked on in my meditations and in my program. Just try and, you know, make things work. I'm out here where I normally park, so I'm going to drive in here and see if I can park where I normally do in the shade. But, so what upsets me is, you know, I do all the lifestyle changes. I do the personality changes. I become another person. You know, I'm eating food today that I never would have eaten in my whole life. Awful. But I do all kinds of stuff for the betterment. And meditation a couple times a day. Each meditation for me could be an hour or 2 hours. It's not like I just randomly, do it for 20 minutes or something. And sometimes when I'm away from home and maybe traveling or fishing or someplace, wherever I'm at, I just blow the whole thing off and I'm fine. I'm fine right now. I feel so good right now, it's incredible. And I do. I do feel great. But when you check the numbers of the blood pressure, they're not good. So what happens when you go into a doctor or dentist or whatever, they can refuse to do treatment based on your blood pressure being too high. And of course, I don't jump up and down and holler and scream and get mad or anything like that. I don't. I used to, but I don't anymore. And I just think, what am I doing wrong in my program? Where is it that I'm screwing up? What part of this thing is not working for me? Sorry about the earbuds. I just tried to push that one in a little bit further, and I heard it crack and make some noise. I'll try not to make any excess noise. So, and the Dr. Joe things, I take all of his classes online, only because I can't afford, to go to a workshop. Good Lord, his workshops, I think when you're all said and done, are about $5,000. I couldn't afford $500. But part of what he says, and I'm not mad at him, that's fine. Let him charge $50,000. I don't care. If people get well, good. I listened to him talk about, to the Creator, to the Source, to God, to greater intelligence, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But what he says is, leave a sign in a manner that is right for me. That I'm doing the right thing. That I'm working a good program. That I'm doing my meditations correctly. That I'm doing the work. And for me, my signs have always been from a greater intelligence. And I do get them. Trust me, I get them all the time. And they're always in the form of one of two things. Money everywhere, all over the ground. I got a bag. You remember in the old days in the Westerns on TV, they used to have those big burlap kind of bags. Well, they're only about a foot long. And, all the money from the bank would be in there that the bank robbers took or whatever. I have found so much money laying on the ground. I have one of those filled. Now, keep it in perspective. Penny, nickel, dimes, quarters. I don't know what one of those bags might hold. $200, $300, $400. I mean, I found money today. I wasn't even looking. Usually I'll go and on Saturday morning or Sunday and I'll go through the government building parking lots. Trust me, whatever town you're in, go to some government facility parking lot. You'll find tons of change in those parking lots. I don't know why, I do. But today I'm just doing stupid things and I'm stumbling into pennies. It doesn't matter. It's a sign, right? Has something to do with, I'm probably in the right direction. And I get that 1111, the spiritual angel kind of thing. And all the numbers, I usually check them just for fun. But the numbers indicate that I'm on the right track and that they have my back. And I mean, you take it with a grain of salt, but I don't know. I think it has a little bit of validity to it. And then the third thing I get from a greater intelligence is just these downloads. The downloads are just information coming in from the quantum field, the unified field, where there's wholeness and oneness and all that stuff. Right? And I've been getting those downloads. I've talked about them quite a bit. Midnight to 11:30 to like 2:30. I don't know. I just get up and start writing or recording, or it's trying to tell me something, and then I try to decipher it all, and I end up doing podcasts and blogs about it. Generally, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty confident, pretty happy about the progress I've made. I don't have any clients, or anybody to coach. Nobody's calling me to do consultation with their business. That kind of bubbles me out. I'm just going to go drive around and look at that house while we're talking. And then I might even head a little east of town. But, so I get a lot of signs. But it's like, why are things not getting better? Why has lack not turned into abundance? No, I don't expect to be. Well, sure, everybody wants to be a millionaire, of course. But the way I phrase it is financial security. I think that's honest. I'd like to be financially secure. Who wouldn't? Would I like $250 million? Sure. But realistically, I'd like to be financially secure. Have a nice place, live indoors, have heat, have air conditioning. Regular things. Reliable transportation, food on the table. You can go fill your tank up with gas if you want, instead of putting $3 or $4 in. So, I don't understand. I mean, I've been working on the lack part for 10 years. I've been in lack for probably 30 or 40 years before that. So I listen to the people who complain that, it's not going fast enough. Maybe they ought to talk to me or something. I can tell you about how it doesn't always happen at the speed you would like it to. And then the blood pressure thing, might as well touch on that. The blood pressure thing. There are times where it just drops. And it's exactly what I'd want it to be. And I believe, this is me, I believe in a sense that I must be doing something correct in my program to have it work. And then there's days like today. Here, I'll let this guy go. And then there's days like today where it just skyrockets. I wasn't even in a bad mood. I was happy, content, calm, peaceful. Did my meditation this morning, last night. Comfortable. And the damn blood pressure spikes. Like, what's up with that? So, and I've been working on that my whole life. I mean, I've had issues with it now and again. But it's never stopped me before. I mean, I've done everything I've ever wanted to do with or without high blood pressure. And I don't know. I'm not in that camp. I'm not in that camp that I have it. Even though the numbers are up. I'm not getting on board. So I just go on with my life and keep working my program and hoping that, I get the results I would like. I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So that's my podcast. Look at all these ducks out here in the mud. Wow. They'll be starting to come down here pretty soon. This lake here gets stuffed with waterfowl. That's my podcast. Is I get angry at the greater intelligence. Right? God, source. I don't know, whatever you're calling him. I get angry. I'm not sure I could do any more than what I'm doing. Now, I understand the opposite of that is that, you're supposed to get to a point to where, this kind of anger doesn't even come up. Well, it does. I'm human. And I'm mad because it's been so long. And I'm mad, number two, because I don't know. I don't know how to work the program any better. I could recite it backwards. I know it so well. So I'm sure it's a personality thing. I'm sure I haven't made the changes that I was supposed to make. So it's back to the drawing board for another umpteen years. This is a pretty little house here. I've always liked this house. I do all these blogs. And the blogs, I mean, I looked at the numbers today, they're creeped up by another 5 every day. That makes me feel good. And the podcasts, these, with me talking, I don't know. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. See you. Bye.